Thanks, Steve. I'm looking out here at some folks. When I moved here a few years ago, you became acquaintances, and many of you have become friends. When Steve Thompson called me up, I think settlement, the meetings have been going on for a few months, and he said, "Ron, it's time. It's time to get down here and get started and get to work." And when I went down, I sat there at this table, and I think there was some 50-some people in the room, and what I heard was something that reminded me of a fellow who lives in Tule Lake, and my father-in-law, and he had told me that every crow thinks his feet's the blackest. And when I sat at that table, I listened to everybody, and everybody thought that their issue was the most important. Over time, I got to learn about what was important to everybody at that table. And I got to tell you, I watched something happen, and I watched the trust that started to build. I'm looking down at the end of the table. I'm looking at Jeff, and I kind of knew Jeff from years ago, but didn't know what was really important to the tribes, to the Klamath tribes, and I learned that. I met Troy, and I learned what's important to the Yurok, and I learned what's important to the Karuks, and I learned what's important to fishermen. I think they learned what was important to folks who embrace the refuge system. But all that, when I bring it home, is I met, and you that had become friends, that started out as just acquaintances, I started to learn what was really important to folks here in the basin, in this upper part of the basin. And that all our feet, towards the end of settlement, began to look the same color, and nobody's was blacker than anybody else's, and we were all on the same page. Now, the word in the Klamath Basin that I would hear as I was working in the Midwest is this is a basin from top to bottom that, through all this controversy, had never missed an opportunity to miss an opportunity. We've had lots of shots at trying to settle some of this stuff, and we've kind of let them slip through our fingers. This is another one. This is another opportunity. I was talking to a friend in Tule Lake one day in my office, and he told me a while back he came to the conclusion that he didn't want to just do things like his dad had done. He came to that conclusion. He said, "For years I fought this because I wanted to farm like my dad did." And he said, "I can't do that." And I know that. And for those of you that might still be sitting on the fence, and for those of you that might be out there, or I read about it, that are trying to build fences, so that fences between people and this agreement and a solution, I guess I would say this. Most of us, or many of us, drive pickups in the basin, whether the upper end or down at the ocean. And, we're in this pickup, and we've been driving it for many years, and it's been heading straight for a cliff. And there's no brakes on it. That cliff's getting closer and closer. And there's no steering wheel in that pickup. And for those that would like to do things like we always have and stay in that same old rut we've been in, we're focusing, if that's how we are, on our rearview mirror. And we're just paying attention to that rearview mirror. And that cliff's getting closer, and it's getting closer. And we're going faster and faster right at it. But next to us in the passenger side is a box. And on that box it says the Klamath Restoration Agreement. Take a look at it. Open it up, because what I see when I look in it is a steering wheel. Pick that steering wheel up, put it in place, and let's take this thing in another path. And let's not stay where we've been staying. I'm planning on sticking around in this basin. I'm raising kids in this place. And I want it to be a place that we're going to be proud of, that we're going to keep moving on a glide path that's a lot better than what we had. Let's not miss an opportunity to miss this opportunity. Thanks.